Apple coming back after its recent sell-off. Many investors, though, still very cautious. One analyst says, throw that caution to the wind. Buy now. Brian White is a senior analyst at Topeka Capital Markets, has a buy on Apple and a price target you might be familiar with at $1,111. Welcome back, Brian. Good to see you. You put out a note this morning calling the sell-off insanely insane. And you have to go back a few years before you see a multi-week sell-off like the kind it's had, right?
Exactly. You know, we're really in the strongest quarter of the year for Apple. December quarter is usually up 15% quarter on quarter. We're down 21% quarter to date. And October is generally the strongest month of the year, up 10%, and we fell 11%. So if you look at the valuation here, you look at the cash balance, you look at the product portfolio, this is insanely insane. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
You would probably agree that a lot of the selling has been fired by concerns that don't revolve around Apple's performance in and of itself,
exactly.
Right? Fairly or unfairly? I mean, if you got great gains, what's wrong with taking them now before you're victim to some change in tax policy?
You're exactly right. Changes in tax policy, fiscal cliff. So I think it's one of the reasons you've seen the sell-off. But let's take a look and compare Apple to the S&P 500 and really get a gut check here of what's going on. I mean, this stock traded as of this morning at 7.6 times X cash. The S&P was 12.5 times. Now, if you look at the growth rate of Apple, 92% a year versus 7 for the S&P. This is madness.
Yeah, at a time where corporate profits are beginning to flatten out, people worry about a profits recession. That's certainly not Apple's problem, at least in the near-term future, right?
Exactly. So you remember 08, 09, Apple grew 40% in 08 top line, 20% in 09. Most companies in tech saw 30% declines. If you're worried about a recession, Apple's a better way to play it, especially at this valuation.
Yeah. Do you think Friday was the low for a while?
I think it was.
505 intraday.
Exactly. You know, I'll tell you what, I'll just give you a kind of anecdotal story. Last week we put out a note on Apple, and I got a ping back from a friend in China, far-flung place in China, telling me to beware. Everyone is shorting Apple. When it's out to people in China that they should be short Apple, it's over. The bottom is in, and that's the way I feel.
Brief bit on the dividend. Pays about 2%, right? A little less than 2%. You think it could go to 3 to 4?
I think 3 to 4 is very reasonable at this price. So that's a $16 to $21 dividend versus a $10.60 they currently have. If you look at Intel and their payout ratio, you'd have over 4% dividend right now in Apple.
Are there signals that is imminent or coming in the next few quarters, months?
Yeah, the exact rate we don't know, but I think I would be shocked if we don't see dividends continue to rise over the next 6 to 12 months for sure.
Finally, any lingering concerns on your part regarding supply, whether it's with an iPhone? There's all sorts of chatter today about the iPhone 5S coming in the middle of next year. Are they still able to deliver on promises they make?
So, you know, we haven't changed our numbers for December quarter on iPhone 5. We have 39 million. But I will say Apple stores are starting to get shipment. And we talked about it briefly when iPad mini came out. That wasn't the case a month ago, 3 weeks ago, so it's starting to improve for sure. So I think what's going to happen is there will be a little bit of pent-up demand in March quarter for iPad mini and iPhone 5 for sure.
Brian, we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. Thanks for coming in.